Hey everyone, so today I'm going to do a video on 15-tone tuning. It was originally going to be in 15-tone equal temperament, but I thought because we're using this kind of piano, this Lavachord, this clavichord, harpsichord kind of instrument, that we're going to go through the process of how to tune something in 15 tones, what happens actually when there's 15 tones, what we might do. I'll do a later video on 15 equal, like the real equal. But anyways, so I decided, because we got 3 octaves on this keyboard, so when we're 50, so that means 36 keys. So if we're going to do 15 tones, we're going to really kind of focus on 2 octaves. So I set this F to be the middle, so we're going to have F to D is 1 octave, and then F to A flat the other octave. This high octave is not getting used to the pitch yet, so we're not going to do too much on that yet. But this lower octave, this low octave is kind of nice. So the main thing to notice about 15 is that 15 can be divided by 3, and each of those 3 parts is 5. So similarly, a 12 divided by 3 is 4, so you divide 12 by 4. You get those nice 3 diminished triads in 12. So we talked a bit before about shapes and microtonal aleatoriness. So when we're changing in tunings on the piano without actually modifying the shape of the keyboard, we can use some of these shapes in different tunings. So for example, a pattern that would normally be the diminished sevenths now is this 5-tone pentatonic scale. So in this root key with this lowest note that looks like a D, I decided to tune the 5th to be perfect. If it was in 15 equal, I'd want to tune this to be fairly sharp, 20 cents sharp for that. And I also tuned this 4th to be perfect. So we also got a pretty nice 5th between the 2nd and the 7th. So we got something pretty close to a 4, 5, 6, 7. So in 15 equal, the 2nd is going to be somewhere between a super major 2nd and a subminor 3rd. So right between the 8-7 and the 7-6 Ji ratios. So if we tune it to a perfect 5th, we don't want it to have a perfect 5th between the 2nd and the 5th, or we're going to know that it's not quite there. It's not going to be that right 2nd. Obviously, in this permutation starting on the 4th, this major 2nd is not going to be super major. It's going to be the 9-8 major 2nd, because this. So we're dealing with some kind of regular temperament, some kind of well temperament. It's not an equal temperament, it's not a Ji. I decided to tune the major 3rd to be a nice just one, just to have, just because I could really. Tune the minor 3rd pretty nice. Anyways, obviously if we're going to be doing something like that, tuning all the 5ths perfect, we're going to end up breaking the cycle. If we try to tune all the major 3rds as a 5-4, we're going to also break the cycle. But we can also probably do a few of those if we want. So how would I tune something like this? So first, grab your octaves. Like I said, I'm going to leave out the top octave. It's still adjusting, so it's every time I tune it, it's not out of tune. So we're going to stay in this lower octave. tuning your octaves, get your fifth, even if that's not where you're going to leave the fifth, just get it in tune. And get the main pentatonic scale happening in this diminished seventh shape. And now we want to think about this kind of layout. So every whole tone, every super whole tone, every super major tone is 3 steps. So we're basically going to have this different type of layout. We're going to have sub minor second, neutral second, super major second. Sub minor third, which is going to be okay. I guess that's kind of hard to put it. So we start to lose some of the values because normally this fourth is actually going to be a super major third, but not quite. It's going to be closer to a fourth. So in between the fourth and the super major second, we get a major and a minor third. And this super major second is kind of like the 1/5 tone. So basically we get kind of like a major and a minor tone. So the minor tone being more of a neutral, it's not really a major tone. And then like the tone and the next interval category start to become the same. So if we look at it in different regions, we have the fourth and the fifth. So the fourth, normally if it was 15 equal, is going to be a bit flat, the fifth a bit sharp. So we're going to end up with 2 tritones. And then 2 types of sixth here, a minor sixth and a neutral-ish. This sounds kind of major now. I think we probably tuned it to the major third, which is nice. And then we're going to get this harmonic seventh right at that border between the 6th and the 7th. So this is where the really interesting tones come, because they're on the border of 2 identities. So either we're right at the border of where a 6th becomes a 7th, so that's kind of the harmonic 7th, so that's like a new limit. We're right between where a 2nd becomes a 3rd, so that's also bringing in the 7th harmonic, that's a new limit. So these are kind of new categories. The 4th and the 5th are there, but realistically we're right between like a super major 3rd and a flat 4th, and right between a super major 5th and a minor 6th. So these are categorically ambiguous as well. And then after that, you can kind of well temper it to what you and I mentioned, how you can tune some of the fourths and the fifths to be pure, how you can tune some of the thirds to be pure. You can go and do it pure equal. You kind of want to check that it's chromatic, and then go from there, do some adjustments, play around. There's like an infinite amount of ways that you can play with a tuning like this. So let's listen to it a bit. I'm going to make some more videos on this 15-tone tuning because it did take some time to tune and make it adjust to this. So I'm going to have to leave it to adjust for a few days, and I'll do some more videos explaining different ways this can be tuned, and one that will be the pure 15 equal to hear how it sounds. So this is 15 tuning number 1. thanks for listening. So it's been a while since I played in a layout like this, almost a decade. I think it was in 2017. I made the Devil album where I retuned the piano to this tuning. So give me a few days or a few weeks and I'll make some more videos. This tuning.